we have not had a snow earlier than October 24th that I know of.
I want to when we get
check us.
I know
Who's really into meteorology. Just fact check that. Okay.
Yeah, when we get done with this, I'm googling these dates.
Google it. Google it. I'm serious. I think this is the earliest it's been, and I love it.
Ready for some snow facts?
Oh
Snow
yes.
facts.
This is from extremeweatherwatch.com.
Okay.
So this is my only source. It's not multiple checked or anything. The earliest recorded snowfall, at least according to this website, was in 1992. It snowed on September 13th.
Wow.
But
That was a long time ago.
you
You weren't here though.
I started October 11th.
Okay.
I mean,
2011.
2012.
So, according to this, in
11.
2016, on
yeah.
October 10th,
Ooh.
we got 1 inch of snow.
You were
on
way
October
off.
10th in
Wait,
2016.
in Kalispell?
In Kalispell. This is
I love it. I love it when you're wrong.
I hate Google.
Hey everyone, welcome to the LifenGeer podcast where truth leads to joy and adventure. I'm your host Justin. I'm here with Kevin and the team. We are in a whole new room.
I like this room.
Whole new room. We're excited that we're here because kids at Canvas Kids completely took over our space that we filmed.
Totally.
And we're all about it because they got Sugar Up going on the time that we're recording this.
Sugar Up is like Halloween candy explosion with a bunch of Jesus.
It's more like a harvest carnival.
No, don't say that.
Fall festival.
Yeah, fall
my
festival.
goodness.
Oh yeah, we don't. Yeah, but that's why we're here, and we have a topic that is about. We're calling it family sticky.
Yes.
And it is, we're going to talk about it here in a few minutes, but
Yeah.
we're talking about families. And the holiday season is just around the corner for us.
Come on, it's coming up. You're listening to this maybe November, December, and it's coming out in November. And we just want to give you some stuff that will make your family sticky in a healthy way throughout the holiday season and even beyond. So I think there's going to be some good stuff here. But last month, it's great feedback off that of breaking dysfunctional generation dysfunction, and thought, well, let's go a little lighter. Let's talk about some practical, fun things you can do to make that family be part of who you want to be part of.
Yeah.
But before we jump in there, I'm just going to hijack this for a minute.
Oh, wow.
I don't like our seating arrangement currently with you.
Why?
Because you got the best view and I get the wall. So every time I do a meeting in this room, I'm always sitting where I can look out the windows. The windows are behind me if you don't know this.
Yeah.
And you got such a great view of the mountains.
I don't. No, I don't.
My view is your face.
Yeah. It's the best view you can have right now.
Anyways, I just wanted to vent that.
Yeah, but you actually were more jealous of me because I look at the snow.
Oh, my friends, we're recording this because it's the November podcast.
Yeah.
We're recording it in October, so it's like a week early.
Yeah.
This is the earliest snow. It snowed on October 24th. This is the earliest snow I've had in the last 11 years that I've lived in Montana.
Is it really?
Yes.
I feel like you're just. Did you look that up?
Or
you just
visited
this is
with
how you
my wife
feel.
about it.
We
had a snow that happened on the 30th of October. And then last year we had a snow that was on like the 27th, 28th of October. Made that up. And now it's the 24th. We have not had a snow earlier than October 24th that I know of.
I want to when we get
check us.
I know.
Who's really into meteorology. Just fact check that. Okay.
Yeah, when we get done with this, I'm googling these dates.
Google it. Google it. I'm serious. I think this is the earliest it's been, and I love it.
I know you posted about it on social media.
Oh my goodness!
Tell everyone what you do in case for some reason they don't know.
Okay, so I did this maybe, I don't know.
It was a long time.
7 years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
It started snowing, and I got excited, and I went live. You can go live on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I went live on Facebook on my porch just going. It was like nothing was on the ground. There was just like a little bit of flake. It was the first snow of the year, and I just went really excited about it because I love snow. It's just fun. I love change.
Sure.
And Then I did it the next year. And now it's been this thing that it's sort of taken on of its life of its own, that people wait all day on the first snow in Kalispell for me to go live and make a big deal about the first snow. And so, like, I was in, like, this on October 24th, I was in Missoula. It's snowing in Kalispell. My phone is buzzing all day by people messaging me, texting me, you got to do your video. I'm waiting for your video. Where's your video? And I'm in Missoula with no snow, so I can't do it genuinely.
No.
So we drive up, and the minute I get to the parking lot, I go live. And
how did that feel?
I love it. I love it. It's
that
so
just
much
fills
fun.
that just fills your love cup up, doesn't it?
Love cup overflowing.
When people are texting you, "Hey, when are you going live?"
And I'm like, I want to. In fact, I was driving back, and the guy who was driving was John Anderson. And he's like, "Do you need me to pull over so you can do it now?" I'm like, "No, we'll just get to the church and I'll do it then." But it's just a fun community thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then people post in the comments, "I have been waiting 4 hours for this video." And then people then there's the love haters out there. They're like, "Kevin, I hate this video. Thanks for doing it." They love hate it.
Yeah.
I love that. So it's just fun. It's just like joy and adventure. And I just love it in life.
Okay, are you ready for some snow facts?
Oh, yes.
Facts.
This is from extremeweatherwatch.com.
Okay.
So this is my only source. It's not, multiple checked or anything. The earliest recorded snowfall, at least according to this website, was in 1992. It snowed on September 13th.
Wow.
But
That was a long time ago.
you
You weren't here, though.
I started October 11th.
Okay.
I mean,
2011.
2012.
So, according to this, in
11.
2016,
yeah.
on October 10th,
Ooh.
we got 1 inch of snow.
You were
on
way
October
off.
10th in
Wait,
2016.
in Kalispell?
In Kalispell.
I love it. I love it when you're wrong.
I hate Google.
Look, if somebody else wants to prove us wrong, this is my very brief Google search.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you can back Kevin up.
October 11th?
10th.
October 10th.
That's early.
That's early.
But most of the other ones in here are
November, December.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to get to our topic here. But
Okay.
before we do that, we're going to just make sure you're subscribing. We
Come
want to
on.
make sure we're doing that. And Life and Gear podcast, share it. We've talked about this. When you share it, it helps us. It gets the word out. And we're doing it for the fact of just bringing people along on the journey where we're truly living life with joy and adventure.
Come on.
And we want people to come along that journey with us. Now, let's get to the topic of Family Sticky. That's a great title. You must have had Tanya come up with that.
Tanya helps with a lot of this stuff. Let's just be honest. And for Family Sticky, we want families to be sticky. And in our day and age, I think what we're finding is it's so quickly that families can dissolve and go apart. And so I want to just be intentional. I love that word. In fact, one of the titles that Tanya and I were talking about was intentional family practices or something like that. Do you remember what it was?
We could not remember.
It was
word.
She came up with the title, and we were like, "That's awesome."
You're like, it's awesome. It has intentional in it.
and then and then we could never. So really one thing of these on its own is not necessarily going to guarantee success.
Yes.
One of these by themselves doesn't.
Because you have a whole list.
I have 10.
Yes.
10 because we always start with 10. But it's a combination of many of these things. It's going to be strong. In fact, here's the way to look at this, because it's just a light, fun working through this. Is we're threading together many different ropes to make it strong. A rope that's one thread is not very strong.
Strand's a good word.
That's the word I'm thinking about. One strand. But if you put multiple strands together, it creates a rope that can hold a lot of strength.
Yeah.
Think of each one of these as one strand.
Yeah.
Put them together and you get a strong.
And this is
effective
simple.
rope.
This isn't hard stuff. Like, this is simple things that you can implement in your life.
Like, so simple.
Yeah.
It's just the practice of it.
And it's not hard to get started with it.
In fact, the first one's not going to cost you even money. Like, there's
Actually,
no
you should
money.
really enjoy at least half of it.
Maybe. Depends on the emotions of the day.
Sure.
But let's jump into it. And
Okay.
I'll give you number one that will bring clarity to it. And the first one for this is prayer and a kiss.
Yes.
Now, I know some of you single people out there are praying for a kiss. That is not what I'm saying. prayer and a kiss. And I'll say this: I don't leave home without praying with my family.
Yep.
And this is a practice that we do. So I dropped off my daughter today very early for school, and I prayed for her when she got out of the car. And it's like we're talking 20 seconds.
Yep.
But it makes your family sticky when you're intentional about keeping God as part of the family.
Yeah.
And so we pray together. When I drop off Cadence, we pray together. If someone's going on a trip, like a drive or out of town, there's a prayer before they leave. This is something that my dad and mom did, and I have brought it over. And it's like, if you miss it, I have called, or they have called me and go, we didn't pray when I left. Let's pray over the phone. It's just this thing that you do that it's called stickiness. The other thing in this number one, prayer and a kiss, is I never leave without kissing Tiffany goodbye.
Yeah.
And sometimes, if depending on the day, it might be a little tense, because marriage has conflict sometimes. And I don't want to kiss her.
Yeah.
But I have, and we do. And it's just, and what it does is all is good. Our love is greater than any issue.
Yeah.
But most of the time it's just it's a kiss goodbye. And there have been days that I forgot and I'm driving and I'm like, I forgot. You immediately turn around and go back. There's other days that I have forgotten and she's forgotten because we're rushing the kids out the door, and she showed up in my office at work. Hey, you didn't kiss me goodbye. And I'm like, nice. Bring it in, babe.
Bring it in.
I appreciate the pursuit.
Oh, yeah.
And but so simple.
Yeah.
And you know what? Most of you may not do this.
Yeah.
Because it's so simple. You're like, okay, whatever.
It's so important.
It's one strand that I think is important.
Yeah, for us, we do our prayer on the way to school, because right now my kids are younger, so we have all 4 kids in the car right now, and we actually have our kids pray. So I usually don't pray. We actually have the kids pray because it's just that practice of, because we want our kids to be praying out loud.
Love it.
One in them. So they actually take turns praying, and then we have like a mantra that we do and everything.
Perfect.
Just kind of encourage, but same thing.
Yeah.
Kiss right before, and I make sure my kids see me kiss my wife.
Yeah. Do you know that the security of a child comes from the affection of parents? And that is not that is not often communicated, but this is why we have such anxiety in our world, is because most marriages end in divorce. A lot of marriages end in divorce, and it shatters the security of a child.
Yeah.
And when a child sees a mom and a dad affectionately in love, they feel more secure. Yeah. And that is also why, by the way, and I just spoke on this a couple weeks ago, when adult parents, when adults, how do I say this? When grown children see their adult parents divorce, it still affects them as significant as a child, and
Absolutely.
That's not that surprises people.
Yeah,
but their security, because what they thought to be true ends up not being true, and then they soul search everything else in my life what's not true.
It's crazy how I had a buddy that happened to him at the age of 28, 29. His parents got divorced. It messed him up.
Yes, it
messed him up bad.
Yeah, and people are getting divorced later in life.
Yeah.
How about we put in practices that keep the family sticky, that they can weather all storms and have a strong rope of many strands that can hold together? That's what we want.
Yeah, prayer and a kiss. It sounds like a Bon Jovi song, like in an alternate universe.
Like we can close the podcast right now. That is the best statement.
It'd be like in multiverse, you know?
Yes. Prayer and a kiss. That's good right there.
Or the VeggieTales song.
Yeah. What is the VeggieTales song?
I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, and a hug around the neck. It's like Junior Asparagus and his family. They sing that.
I've never heard that before.
Powerful.
What? You guys gotta watch it.
A bushel and a peck. A bushel and a peck. Don't know the words. It's a prayer and a kiss.
Okay.
Hug around
number
the neck.
2. That was point number 1. Prayer and a kiss.
Andy's saying on the podcast. I love it.
Prayer and a kiss.
Prayer and a kiss. Number 2. Okay. So simple. It's gonna blow you away. Group chat. Everybody has, especially if you got teenagers.
Yeah.
Put it in a group, create a group chat that's family. And mom and dad, you're probably going to have to initiate it and probably are going to be the only ones using it. But I guarantee your kids are part of it.
Yeah.
One of the things that we do, in fact, my wife just did this yesterday. It was hilarious. But I mean, we do it often, is we'll say in the group chat, take a picture of where you're at and share it. It's like Be Real, Be Real.
Yeah.
We do it in our group chat all the time.
That's fun.
So Tiffany was at the dentist. That was her picture. My other daughter was getting her hair done. That was her picture. It creates this shared family stickiness that's much more, I don't know, intimate's the word, but it fits. It's just this togetherness that we all do.
That's cool.
And so we have this group chat. And we share all of it. And then sometimes we do the report of the day. How's everybody doing? Check in.
Yeah.
No one ever feels alone.
Yeah.
And you feel like you got this army behind you.
You do have an army with you.
I do. I have a lot of kids. But it's a way to always feel like I'm part of something bigger than me by myself.
Yeah.
And that's huge. And then we also report the jobs of the day.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone, can you make sure here are the jobs of the day?
Oh, sure.
And then just boom, boom, boom. So it's a lot of communication that happens on there, keeps the family close. And by the way, for those of you who have kids outside of the house, the kids that are no longer in our home still are on the group chat. And they love it because especially like we have one of my daughters lives in Florida.
Yeah,
she still gets the jobs of the day. She's never on it, but it keeps her close.
Yeah,
and she loves that.
That's cool.
In fact, yesterday she shared the picture. We did a moment where everybody shared the picture of where they were at, and Tiffany was in the dentist. And Morgan was in the snow, and she was on the beach in the sun because she was in Florida. It was pretty cool.
So, and for families that have kids or other people that maybe don't have smartphones yet or doing that kind of stuff, I think number 3 speaks to what they can do instead. It can kind of keep that connection there as well.
Well, if you have younger kids, you can do this more often than what we do. And number 3 is family dinner.
Yeah.
This just keeps family stickiness. Sunday night for us is family dinner.
Yeah.
And it is a non-negotiable as much as we can make it.
Yeah.
As much as we can make it.
It's non-negotiable-ish.
And here's what I mean by that. Sometimes I've traveled. They still do family dinner.
Yeah.
And I'm not there on Sunday night. Sometimes I have to fly out Sunday afternoon. But if it's like but it's not negotiable in the fact that like, well, we're going to plan a dinner that night with a couple. No.
Yeah, I get you.
You know, family dinner unless we're traveling. And it's Sunday night. And mom and dad cook. So me and Tiffany cook, come up with a plan and cook together, and then the kids clean up. That's sort of how it works here.
What's your favorite meal to cook? Like for you? Like what do you just love to cook?
Or to cook?
No, to cook.
I love bread.
So you bake bread?
Yes. All the time.
No.
I have a bread machine.
I want you to make me a loaf sometime.
Done. Done. I'll make you a loaf. I'll make you a loaf before the next podcast.
Okay.
Okay. You'll talk about how good it was.
All right.
Okay. Do you like cinnamon raisin bread?
Never. I hate raisins, like with a passion.
Oh,
no.
It's one of my favorite ones I make.
Oh, no.
In fact, I have made
I'll stop
2
doing the
loaves
podcast
of
if
cinnamon
you bring that to
raisin
me.
bread, and my dog eats it off the counter warm. It makes me so mad. I hate dogs. Anyways, but the other thing that works on family dinner is we all clean up that afternoon too, because family dinner in the house has to be clean. That's
and you guys, it's open game for family to bring other people, right?
Yeah. So now we have several kids that live out of the house. But you can always invite your friends to family dinner. It creates this great community evening. And so we've had up to 18 people at family dinner. We do tacos when it's that many.
Yeah.
But it just creates this wonderful time. And then people report how their week has been, even though we've been doing it through the group chat. But what it does is it prioritizes our family in the week.
Yeah.
And for those, so Miera, my daughter who lives in Florida, calls every Sunday night
awesome.
To check in, and that's family dinner with her.
That's cool.
So,
and so at family dinner, you guys play games? Like, what do you guys do?
No, really, it's just dinner.
Oh, okay.
We keep it real light, real simple, and fun. Sometimes we play games, but the point is a meal around the table. as much as we can, and everybody just sort of shares what's going on. We all clean up. The kids are in charge of it, but we all clean up. And it's just the priority of getting together is the key.
That's cool.
And then it naturally takes care of itself.
That's cool.
Okay. But speaking of games, because I am a game playing family, this is going to be, this is so small, but you're making memories. And number 4 is called Sign the Box.
Ooh.
So every game comes in a box.
Yeah.
And so many years ago, what we decided to do is when we play games as a family, the winner gets to sign the inside of the box.
That's awesome.
And then you date it.
Yep.
And so you can open up any of our games, and there is a chronological history of who won the games. And I'll tell you, every time we get out a game box and you open it up, we relive all the other games.
I remember when I won that one time.
Oh, it's so funny. And but one of the things that makes your family sticky is that you have a history.
Yeah.
A shared history.
That's cool.
And this is, again, one of the simple things. This is not profound stuff.
Yeah.
It's simple little practices.
Yeah.
So I talked one time about signing the box in a message, and now I have people come up to me all the time going, we started that.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, it's just, and they love it. So we sign the name.
Yeah.
And you play to sign the box. You sign the name, then you put the point total if it's a point scoring game,
Sure.
and then you put the date.
Oh, that's
how
fun.
we do it.
We did. Years ago, we were playing games with some friends of ours, and they made us sign the box. But instead of it being the winner, it was just anyone who was new who's played that game signed the box. So we have boxes of different games that are just have different friends, and so we're like, oh, we haven't played a game with them in forever, which is kind of fun.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Love that. So that's number 5. That's number 4. Let me give you number 5. This is another thing we do. Again, so simple.
Yeah.
But I think what it does, and let me just share these first 4. In fact, 5. The first 5 do this. It pumps the brakes to slow down life. This is the untangible sneakiness of this podcast. We're slowing you down with intentional things to do that will help your family be sticky.
That's good.
Because life's busy.
Yeah.
And we go, 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 go. Here's another pump the brakes. That is memory lane pictures. Okay. One of the things we love to do, we don't do this all the time, but we do it several times throughout the year. Everybody sits on the couch and we airplay our photos from way back when on a TV.
Oh, great idea.
And I am always shocked. Now, I got this from my mom and dad.
Okay.
Because twice.
Doing airplay?
No, not airplane. Well, I was just going to go there, though.
Sorry.
We had a slide projector.
Ooh.
No, the one where you go,
yeah,
you were just going to do it. And you had the slides.
Uh-huh.
So we would do this 2 times a year. And we would set up a screen. And then you get out the slide projector and we would look at slides. And it was, I'm drinking this Dr. Pepper, and carbonated is not good when you do a podcast. And we would, my childhood memory is mostly in pictures that I remember from that time.
Yeah.
And you know that every picture carries with it emotions. And you can remember those emotions often with it. And it's a powerful, powerful reality. And so we'll do this as we go through memory lane of, Cadence being born or Morgan being born or moving into our Covington house and it reminds our family of their history, of our story. And it's just a great thing to bring us together.
Isn't it crazy how when you physically see something, whether it's pictures or in real life, how all of a sudden these memories come back? But when you think of that just without the physical tangible thing, you don't have those same memories. But when you actually see it in person, it changes. We had that. We did family hunting camp for the first time with 2 of my kids, my sister and her kids. And then afterwards, it was a short ride over to the town that I grew up in Valier. My kid wanted to go see it. So we get to the small town of Valier, and all of a sudden, I have all these memories just flood. And I'm telling my kids all these stupid things that I've done, at Lake Francis. And then we stopped in front of the high school. I said, see there, right there? That's where Dad had his first kiss.
That is awesome.
But it's so, the tangible thing of it changes your memory.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you just have all these memories just flood. I love it.
I have learned this. In fact, our very last one we'll talk about traditions, but I have learned this growing up. Tiffany's been very good at this. I am a future-oriented person.
No, not Kevin.
Was that sarcasm? I live in the future sometimes too much. I miss the present.
It's that multiverse, bro.
Yeah, boom. Well, when you're living in the future, sometimes forgetting the present, who's ever thinking about the past?
Yeah.
But one of the things that's important about making family sticky, stickiness is not necessarily where you're going, though it can be. It's more of what you've done.
Yeah.
And you need to relive your history that you have made.
Yeah.
And when you relive your history, you can emphasize your family values.
Yeah.
And then they see that they're real and that you live them out. So I just think
good.
That memory lane picture. And what does it cost? Nothing.
No.
And what do you need? You can literally sit on the couch with your phone and do this.
Yeah.
With maybe you're a single mom, and you're like, I want to create a family thing. Sit down with your kids and go through pictures.
That's good.
And look at them and laugh together. And I don't know. The older I get, though, the more we do these pictures. Now this is what is often said. Dad's crying again. Here comes Dad's crying again. Why? Because you get it's so emotional wrapped up in it.
Yeah.
So the first 5 we're halfway through.
Yeah.
The first 5 is pumping the brakes.
Yeah.
Besides a meal, none of this costs money.
Yeah.
It just slows your life down with intentionally remember what you have.
Yeah.
Okay? And then we come to number 6, and these last these last 5 are these are more intentional in things that you can do, but maybe not necessarily moments. Number 6 is you got the celebration of success.
I love this.
Nobody should cheer louder for a success you experience than your family.
So true.
And we want that to be important. That when one of our children, or if mom has a success, or I have a success, all of the family is excited about it. And how you get there is a little counterintuitive. Fairness can't be the rule in your home.
Yeah.
If fairness is in the rule, it kills celebration.
Yeah.
But if you teach your children from the very beginning to celebrate when another child has success or gets more M&Ms than you get M&Ms that time, and so you're thankful for their thankfulness, you create a heart of celebration.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you, one of the things that's not ever going to rip my family apart is my parents' money.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen. They don't have any. No, it's never going to happen. Here's the reason why. If all of the money goes to my brother, I'm going to be happy for him.
Yeah.
And you might be listening to this and going, it's not true.
Yeah.
Actually, we already talk about it as a family. Money's not going to rip us apart.
Yeah.
I'm going to choose. We've already chosen mom and dad and do whatever we want. Unfortunately, I'm in a business where I see families break apart all the time because of mom and dad's money.
Yeah.
Can I just tell you? That's stupid. and you're listening right now, and here's the thought, but it's not fair. Like life is fair.
Yeah.
And you will sacrifice your family.
Life is not fair.
Life is not fair. Thank you.
Yeah.
And you will sacrifice your family over money.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, you grieve your parents' heart. And so I'm just going to say this right now. If you're listening to this, maybe this is a moment for you. It's not even planned. I'm just going to go with it. And you're in a quabble or a squabble. Make up a word.
A robble.
Or a robble. Maybe you're in one of those right now with a family member, and resentness and bitterness are coming in because of wrestling over an inheritance or money. I want you to make a fist and slowly open it up, because this is what I want your heart to do. Let it go. And be thankful for whatever you have. But it's not fair. It's not right. Let it go.
Yep.
Let the Lord be the judge over time. But what's happening is all you're receiving by wanting is bitterness, resentment. How's that going to affect your health? How's that going to affect your family? It's not. You don't let your parents' inheritance be bitterness to your soul.
Yeah.
Let it go. It'll change your life.
Yeah.
And so that's how you get celebration of success.
And it's how do I want to say it? It is the joy of the Lord fills your heart when you celebrate other people.
It's so true. It's well said, Justin.
I
love it.
When you start celebrating others, there's just a joy that overwhelms you, and then you look for that more because it's just fun.
Yeah.
And you enjoy it.
It is. Yeah. It's so true. So true.
Yeah.
Okay, so celebration of success. Number 7, then. This is just something me and my family do. We've done it for years and years and years since I grew up in it. And that is we make church a priority and serving a priority.
Yeah.
So all of my children currently serve in church.
Yeah.
And even the ones that are out of the house, they have found a place to serve in church. And church is a priority. We just make it part of our life. And now you might be going, well, that's because, Kevin, you're the pastor. You have to be there.
Yeah.
There was a 10-year season where we didn't have to go to church because I worked for the network office in Washington, so I traveled a lot and stuff. And so we were children's pastors for many, many, many years. And then we moved to the network office, and we didn't have to go to church.
Yeah.
We were just like everybody else. We got to get to go to church. The very first week when I was done children's pastoring, Tiffany and I served in the nursery.
That's cool.
Now, frankly, that's the worst place. That's not where I wanted to serve. But she signed us up, and there is something when you honor God, He honors your family.
Yeah.
And so this is a family priority. It's who we are. We live life no matter what our job title is.
Yep.
There is a greater mission and purpose we all have, and that's to advance the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah.
And we all do that together through the church because it's God's idea. And so that has kept our family together. And I'm not just talking my family.
Yeah.
This has been a gear and a gear tradition, and even longer on my mom's side.
Yeah.
And my mom's maiden name, by the way, is Kisser, Kisser. The Kissers on their side for generations.
Yeah.
That you serve and you give and you're blessed because of it.
Yeah. And it's fun to be a part of, and it's fun no matter what church you're at or where you're doing. I mean, I've only worked for the church for 8 years. All my life before that, from all my adulthood, I still served, and I loved it. And I served in so many different areas too, and it was just fun to be a part of what God is doing.
Well, Justin, I think the Stewart, your family is a great example of this. When you started attending Canvas, you weren't paid or on staff.
No.
And you volunteered.
Yeah.
and you served. And your wife was on the worship team.
Yep.
And there's you don't need to have a title.
Yep.
You do it because it honors God and it's healthy for your family.
Yeah.
To be involved in.
Yeah. It's so much fun.
That's number 7. Then number 8, this is just how we roll. We're a tell-all family.
Yeah.
It's a no secrets family. It makes there's an intentionality to share what's going on in your life. And when we started this when we were young, we share everything. Now there's wisdom to not share. Like I don't share everything that happens at the church with my wife when it's tension stuff,
Sure.
and that she doesn't need to carry. But so there's a boundary, but that boundary is the exception, it's not the rule.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And if she wanted to know,
Absolutely.
I would share.
Yeah.
But we just, everything's going on, and our kids live that way. Like our kids read all their text messages to us. We don't have to go through it. They're, hey, let me tell you what's going on, and I'm even being careful right now because I know of several text messages that they were like, Dad, you shared that on that podcast. I'm going to honor them by not. But I just, there's this ongoing openness in our family where we'll say to our kids, and we don't have secrets.
Yeah.
We don't have, and then one of the biggest one is for our kids, and this has kept our family close, is mom and dad tell each other everything that the kids say. So it's not like, Mom, I have a secret, don't tell Dad. Never going to happen.
Yeah.
Mom tells me everything, and I tell her everything, and it creates this united force between mom and dad that cannot be broken, and then it creates great trust. It creates great support because we're allowed to speak into wisdom. They know we're for them.
Yeah.
And it gives opportunity for great counsel.
Is it fair to say with this one particularly, if you're not practicing it, this will be an adjustment? This will be a harder adjustment?
Well, if you go to your junior higher and start saying this, it's going to be yes.
Yeah.
I think if the younger your kids are, the easier this is to create. Now, with that being said, you can model it.
Yeah.
And you can say, hey, we want to give you a gift for your future. Mom and I are late on this, but we're going to start doing it now. We're just going to tell you guys what's going on in life with wisdom, of course. And just we want to be a no secrets, and you give them the opportunity to step into it.
Good.
And then it might be a gift that they might not be perfect at, but they'll end up doing it for their children in the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. Okay. So what's number 9?
Well, this one is like so simple.
Yeah.
I call it simple adventure.
Yeah.
You got to create opportunities, create adventures, create memories. Here's where this came to me. Sometimes, I was talking to a guy, and his third daughter had just left the house. And he took her out, and they had done some great stuff, great big family vacations and all this. And he asked her as she was leaving, tell me your greatest memories growing up. And she listed 5 right away, and none of them were the big vacations that they had been on.
Really?
Not one of them was Disneyland. Not one of them was this extravagant. It was, Dad, I remember camping in the backyard. And he's telling me this. His tears are in his eyes. And he said, I was so intentional about the big trips, but my children all remembered the simple adventures. And those simple adventures are powerful. And so maybe you're a parent and you're like, I can't afford a big trip with my kids. Your kids aren't really looking for it as much as you think they're looking for it. It's the simple things. It's spending the night on the trampoline with your children. Why do I say that? I remember when my dad did that. It's spending the night under the stars. I remember that. It's those simple little things that are phenomenal that my kids talk about and still at times want to relive. It's spending the night under the Christmas tree. It's those simple things that they will remember for all of their life that is different than what we think the big vacations are going to do. It's the family experience. It's the togetherness. I think it's the simple adventures. Like we have been intentional of trying to do that. Like we took a road trip and went and camped at several state parks in Montana. It was a simple, fun road trip. We camped in tents. Our kids loved it, and we grew as a family because it was. Here's the key word: simple. Simple adventure.
That's cool.
And then number 10. So let me give you a running list up to here. The first 5 are pump the brakes. Prayer and a kiss, a group chat, a family dinner, sign the box of the game, memory lane pictures, and then some practices. Celebrate the success of each other. Church and serving. You make it a priority. Have an open family, tell all family. And then simple adventure. And then the last one, I just thought I'd throw this in because we're getting into holiday season. And this is just our Christmas traditions. Okay. Frankly, I'm not a traditional person. I don't do any traditions.
Okay.
But my wife and children love them. I forget them. I'm like, we do this every year. And they're like, Dad, you're son. Yes. I'm like, okay.
And you say that every year?
I do, and I forget. I'm future focused. So like we have a tradition where we watch, oh no, I can't remember the name of it.
Elf?
No. It's the one where Polar Express. She remembers my traditions. We watch Polar Express every year, and I love it. But so I'm going to give you our Christmas traditions here that if I remember them, the ones I remember. We serve every Christmas Eve. Now that's because we're in ministry,
right?
But every Christmas Eve is we serve our church, and we love doing it. It's what we do together. And then we go home and crash and eat. But we love doing that. Then the other thing, Christmas Day. It's a family tradition for generations in my family, and I'm thankful for it. We start the day with the Bible story of Jesus. We make Christmas about Jesus, and there's no regrets. So we read Luke chapter 2. In the days of Caesar Augustus. I've read it so often it's memorized. There, and so we do that, and then after that, our kids don't like this, but the older they get, they do. Actually, the young kids love it. And I should say what it is first. We sing Christmas carols together as a family. Now, here's how it works. The young kids love it. Then when they're in junior high, it's worse than death. Okay. Then when they're in high school, it's okay. And then when they're out of college or they're in college and they come back home, we have to do it. It's like all of a sudden they're dictators on it. It's like not even negotiable. So don't let the emotional junior hire set the course of your family. You force them to do what they don't want to do, because when they're in college and beyond, they're going to be thankful for it. That's just a good, man, that might be the point of the podcast.
Don't let junior hires rule the roost.
That's right. But we sing Christmas carols, and I always sing a cappella style. That's just tradition. And then,
you want to give us a little taste of that?
Oh, I can do that. Yeah. You want me to do it?
Yeah.
Silent night, holy night.
Do you breathe on every word?
All is calm. I sound like the Cowardly Lion, but
you so do. Whoa.
That sounded like Scooby-Doo. Then we pray, and then it's gifts. Such a simple Christmas tradition. Nothing I've said today. In fact, most of what I say is not profound. It's just simple little things that have profound effect in your home. And so I hope that these 10 strands, maybe you take 6 of them, will create a stronger rope for your family to be sticky together. And when you're stickier, you're healthier. And that's what we want. And then you can do joy and adventure in life.
That's great. That's it for this That's it for this episode, Family Sticky.
Family stickiness.
Remember, new episodes come out on the first Thursday of every month, so hit that notification button and don't miss out. I'm Justin, and for Kevin, myself, and the team, thanks for listening to the Life and Gear podcast, where truth leads to joy and adventure.